Right. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our webinar on GMARC certification process. As mandated by the GCC Standardization Organization, GSO, I am Avni Kumar Patkur, heading India Sales and Marketing with Cotecna CPS. Agenda for the today's webinar is to discuss and understand the importance of the GMARC process to be followed for the toys testing, along with the GCC technical regulations on children toys. Now, before we get into the details for GMARC, I would like to brief you about our organization. Cotecna is a Swiss-based company founded in 1974, and as on date, it has expanded its footprints across the globe in more than 50 countries, with presence of 140 offices and labs with more than 6,000 employees. We are glad to share with you all that this year Cotecna is celebrating its 50 years of service delivery in the TIC industry. Cotecna CPS has state-of-the-art laboratories in India, Bangladesh, and Dubai. In Dubai, we have capabilities to deliver on soft line testings, hard lines, electrical, leather and footwear, toys testing, and analytical testings. In India, we have complete capabilities for soft lines, hard lines, leather and footwear, electricals, electronic product testing, toys, and analytical testings. In Bangladesh, we can cater to the requirements for soft lines, leather and footwear, and analytical testings. At both the laboratories in India and Dubai, we have complete capabilities to deliver on the toy testing requirements as per the required global standards. We have a very capable team of inspectors in our inspections and audit team with capabilities of inspection of all product categories. And we can offer inspections not only in India, but also in Sri Lanka, China, Bangladesh, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brazil, and Pakistan as well. There is one more upcoming lab which will be set up in Tirupur. Most probably by the end of September or October, this lab will be operational. Moving on, there shall be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. So you may please note down any queries or questions you have in your mind and ask our expert panel through the chat box. Now, I would like to introduce our eminent speaker for the day, Mr. Gaurav Jain, who is our Global Key Account Manager at Dubai Laboratory, and Mr. Gautram, who is the technical lead with us. Over to you, Mr. Jain.
Hi, good afternoon. Welcome to all of you. We welcome you for this webinar. The webinar, which is for the GMARC. So thank you, Avni, for taking us through the Cotecna journey. So we'll start with the GMARC introduction. So the first question is, what is GMARC? See, the GMARC or the Gulf Conformity Mark, it is a certificate of conformity that indicates the product has been tested and certified, which meets the quality and the safety standards, which is set by the Gulf Cooperation Council. And once this is done, the product is certified and is acceptable in these regions. So now why GMARC certification is important? As you see, the GCC member states continues to grow and develop. There is a demand of high quality products in the region. To ensure these products meet the necessary standard, GCC has implemented the GMARC certification program. This mark is recognized by all the GCC member states, which makes it easier for the manufacturers and distributors to sell their products throughout the region. Now, obtaining GMARC certification, it is a process where it involves testing and inspections of the product to ensure that the product meets the necessary standards, where it includes the mechanical safety, chemical safety, and the electrical safety. So GSO, like everyone knows, it's a GCC Standardization Organization. Initially, there was a call out where initial technical regulation BD 07070502 was formulated, but later with some amendment, BD 131704 related to children toys was made, and this technical regulation was adopted by GSO on 1st of January 2014. So this technical regulation, which is BD 131704, this is applied to the children toys, which are designed or intended, whether or not exclusively for use in play by children, and the age limit, what is defined is as 14 years. So one will see that what is the major contents of the regulation. So first of all, there is a definition or a role of economic operators and what are their obligations. What is the criteria for the conformity of toys? And then define the role of conformity assessment and the procedure required to demonstrate the compliance of the toys to this regulation. Now, as you all know that GCC region comprises of 7 countries, which is KSA, UAE, Bahrain, Oman, Qatar, Kuwait, and Yemen. So we'll quickly move to the toys definition or the criteria on which the GMARC has laid its definitions. So first, if we go through, this is a functional toy with a definition which says a toy which performs and is used in the same way as a product appliance on installation intended for use by adults. So a prototype are made for the children, which may be a scale model of such products. For an example, if you see on the screen, there is a sewing machine which are used in a commercial way by adults, but for the play purpose, it is made for the kids. So this lies into the functional toy category. The second category is aquatic toy, a toy which is intended for use in shallow water, capable of carrying or supporting a child on the water, is considered as aquatic toys. The third category comes as activity toys. These are some of the toys which has a support structure which remains stationary while the activity is going on. This is intended for the performance by a child in terms of maybe climbing, jumping, rocking, spinning, etc. The next category comes as chemical toy, a toy intended for the direct handling of chemical substances and mixtures, which is used in a manner appropriate to a given age group and under the supervision of an adult. So everywhere the criteria comes as it should be playful. In some of the categories, it has the supervision of adult which is required. The next category is cosmetic kit. Now you can see in the market there are a lot of cosmetic kits available which are for adults as well as for kids. So this category has been defined as a mandatory where a children is made to learn to make products such as fragrances, soaps, creams, etc. The next category comes as gustative, where the purpose is to allow the children to make sweets or dishes involve the use of food ingredients. And the last category, which is defined by the GCC, is olfactory, which says that the purpose is to assist a child to learn to recognize different odors or flavors. So these are few categories which has been defined or given in the regulation. So we will be going through the toys which are not considered in this regulation. For example, you can see a lot of toys in the market, but there are few toys which are not considered as toys under this regulation. For an example, if you see decorative toys or decorative objects which are for festivities and celebrations, on the right hand side, if you see the picture, there are some Christmas balls and a house made. These are all decorations which doesn't come under the scope of toys. Some collectible products, as if you see, there is a folk dolls or a reproduction of a real firearms, a prototype, historical replicas. These are not considered as toys, rather these are the decorative items. Few sport equipments which has a mass of more than 20 kg doesn't lie under the scope of toy category. Similarly, if a bicycle is there, but with a limit of a height, if the height limit from the ground clearance till the top height of the seat is more than 435 mm, it doesn't lie into the category of toys as per the GCC regulation. Now, if you see some kind of scooters or electrically driven vehicles, these are also not considered as toy because these are used as a means of transport. Similarly, aquatic equipments, which is intended to be used in a deep water for swimming learning devices for children. So these are not under a toy category. Now you must have seen the kids playing with puzzles and must be wondering why it is here. So there is a pointer in this that if the puzzles have more than 500 pieces, then it is not considered as toys. Similarly, guns and pistols, but which use the compressed gas, doesn't come under toy category. Fireworks, definitely it's not a toy. Any functional educational product which has a voltage exceeding 24 volts, which is exclusively for the teaching purpose, is not considered as toys. Similarly, few more educational items which are used in schools and under the surveillance of adults are not considered as toys. I'll just run through few more examples so that it is easy and clear for all of you. Some game consoles, but it is without play value. These are not considered as toys. Some CDs, interactive softwares, baby soothers. Baby soothers, specifically if there is no play feature, then it is not a toy. But as soon as there is a play feature with the baby soothers, it lies into the category of GMA. Some electric transformers or the fashion accessories for children. Like on the last picture, which you can see, these are all the fashion accessories, but this is not considered as a toy. Reason, there is no play value with this. Now we have seen the definitions, categories, and the toys which are not coming under the scope. There are something which is a bigger thing which doesn't fall under this regulation. I'll show with the picture so that it is very easy for my audience to understand. So the playground equipment which is intended for public use, this doesn't come under this technical regulation. Similarly, some automatic playing machines, whether it is coin operated or not, toys which have the combustion engines, this also doesn't come under the toy category. Toy with steam engines, yes, definitely not under this regulation. So the next topic is economic operators definitions on obligations. I'll request Gautam to take it over. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. Thank you, Mr. Avani, for the introduction. Now, good afternoon, everyone. Now I'm going to take you through economic operator definitions and applications. Economic operator definitions. Manufacturer means the person who manufactured a toy as a toy designed or manufactured and manufactured that under his name or trademark. Authorized representative means the person established within the community who has received a written mandate from manufacturer to act on behalf of his relations to specific the task. Importer, the person established within the community who placed the toy from a third country on the community market. Linked importer means an importer has direct access to the manufacturer. Unlinked importer, an importer who doesn't have access to the manufacturer and it's not able to provide any necessary evidence about the manufacturer responsibility. Example, dealer, a trader. Distributor, the person in supply chain other than manufacturer or importer who makes a toy available on the market. Economic operator obligation summary. This summary for easy understanding of economic operators' duties and responsibilities. Ensure that toys are in accordance with BD 13170-1. Manufacturer, all the economic operators have obligations. Drop technical documentations and keep for 10 years. Manufacturer and unlinked importer have obligations. Authorized representative keep only. Linked importer ensure it's done by manufacturer. carry out conformity assessment procedure. Manufacturer has an obligation. A linked importer ensure it's done by manufacturer. Unlinked importer carry out importer conformity procedure. Fix a G mark on the toy and packaging. Manufacturer yes, they have obligation. Authorized representative and linked importer ensure it's done by manufacturer. Unlinked importer they have obligations. Distributor need to verify. Draw up manufacturer declaration of conformity and keep for 10 years. Manufacturer have obligations. Authorized representative keep only. Linked importer ensure it's done by manufacturer. Ensure that toy has ID like type, batch, serial, model number. Manufacturer have obligations. Authorized representative and linked importer ensure it's done by manufacturer. Distributor verify only. Indicate economic operator name, registered trade name, mark and contact detail, and ensure the toy accompanied by instruction safety information in Arabic. Manufacturer, linked importer, unlinked importer have obligations. Authorized representative ensure it's done by manufacturer. Distributor verify only. Provide the authorities with information and documentation for complaints in Arabic or English and upon the request. And take corrective measures, withdraw, recall non-conformity toys. All the economic operator have obligations. Ensure that toy storage and transportation do not jeopardize its compliance. Linked importer, unlinked importer, distributor have obligations. Conformity assessment procedure. First one, manufacturer conformity assessment procedure. Manufacturer conduct the risk assessment and identify the significant aspect of the risk in the toy. Manufacturer prepare the technical documentation as per Annex 4, including risk asset and applied Gulf standards test reports. Bill of materials, necessary test reports, and the description procedure followed by manufacturer ensure efficiency factory productions, control achieve the conformity of manufacturer toy within the design, specify the technical documents, and declaration of conformity. Manufacturer shall send above listed technical document to any one NB his choice to review the final approval. Whenever required, the NB can arrange necessary grouping, testing, fully, partially, or representative item or technical assessment for the manufacturer. On completion of steps 3, the NB shall issue the conformity certificate for manufacturer and approve the product in accordance with the requirement of GCTS. Manufacturer who is responsible for the procedure shall affix the GCTS according to the rule of GSO. Unlinked importer conformity assessment procedure. This procedure to be performed for homogeneous consignment. Importer shall apply NB can choice, perform the statistical sampling or the necessary test examination to the conformity of the toys with the safety requirements of GSO technical regulation. Acceptable sampling of each consignment to be done. Relevant program inspection suitable test specification on the product able to perform by the NB to ensure the compliance. Taking the consideration any available test reports or evidence conformity presented by importer. On verification done by conformity side, NB shall issue the conformity certificate for manufacturer and approve the product accordance with the required GCTS. Importer shall fix GCTS each consignment according to the rule of GSO. Technical documentation required by manufacturer. Manufacturer shall contain at least manufacturer declaration of conformity, a general description of toy with clear color photos, a detailed description including the list of component materials, example bill of material or bill of substance, safety data sheets for chemical used, its MSDS, risk assessment, test report, instruction manual at least Arabic, Gulf type examination certificate if any available, affix GCTS with QR code, demonstrate compliance any traceabilities. Declaration conformity format for manufacturer and recorded details, unique toy ID, manufacturer details, name and address, and toy clear color photos with the item numbers and applicable regulation standards. It's BD 13170-01 and reference standard EN71 sets and additional standards. Notify bodies number and name, example Geochem Medalist and NB005. Additional information, manufacturer place, address, issue, function, signature. Technical documentation, importer, unlinked importer to manufacturer. Importer shall contain at least importer declaration of conformity, a general description of toy with clear color photos, test report, there is 2 types, all that toys are individually examined, or statistical verification for each consignment, certificate of conformity issued by NB if any, tax invoice or performer invoice, instruction manual at least Arabic, packaging list, affix the GCTS QR code demonstrate compliance and traceability. Declaration of conformity document for importer, the recorded details, name and address for imported, and ID for product item numbers, and clear color photos. Reference Gulf regulations BD 1317040-1. Also that standard of EN 71 sets under additional requirement standards, notified body's name and details, and additional information for importer, sign, place, and function signature. Criteria of grouping, how multiple SKUs grouping under one certificate. These are the record detail. If multiple SKUs in same HS code, similar age range, same manufacturer may sell the same toy using the different brand name. This is also can be grouped. Same country of origin, same material, similar function. There is no limit for SKU. If they meet above criteria, we can cover in under one certificate. And recent GSO annual meeting, the point was raised. GSO may think upon the restrict the number of SKU. Representative test at least one SKU and maximum 6 SKU falling under the same group, while 5 to 10% of SKU in all the cases. Test report have to cover relevant hazards for the toys. New product can be added in existing group if they fulfill the criteria of that group. Toys category and scope. As per GSO, total 19 category, and each category there is subscope also is there. We mentioned example of subscopes. For example, art and craft, painting set, modeling set, audio visible equipments, blocks, it's simple blocks, there is no functional. Cards and floors, board game, table games. It's a card game, it's multiplayer playing games. Computer video games without software. Doll and software toys, it's software toys with the plastic doll. Dress up material, it's cosmetic kits and sticker. Interlocking building materials, it's geometrical sets and building block sets. Learning toys, alphabets, time and chemistry set. Mirror, mobile and manipulative toys. It's rattle, cues and static toy. Play scenes and puppets, kitchen sets, house and tent. Pushable toy, it's walker, puzzles, recreational equipment, jump rope and padding pole. Ride-on toys, electrical driven toy and rocker and tricycles. Small vehicle toys, it's a track toy and small cars. Small toy and educational software, it's a robotic toy. Sports equipment, it's tennis, football, basketball and roller skates. Tools and props, example cooker, iron box and mixer. Gulf standards and relevant international standards. As per GSO, there is harmonized some standards not harmonized. Example, EN 71 part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, part 5, part 7, part 8 is harmonized. Harmonized means minimizing redundant or conflicting standards, and part 6 not harmonized. As per GSO, EN 71 part 1, part 2, part 3, it's mandatory test for all the toys. Remaining standards, it's based on the toys end use, like part 8, swing, slide, similarly activities toys, indoor, outdoor toys only applicable. Same part 9, part 10, part 11, it's not harmonized. Part 12, part 13 and GSO 1943, part 14, IEC 62115 for safety electrical toys, and ASTM F963, it's harmonized. ISO standards, part 1, part 2, part 3 and part 4, part 6, part 7 is harmonized. This all covered mechanical, physical and chemical parameters. And regulations wise, chemical test parameters, phthalate, it's applicable plastic materials and scrubbable printing, nickel metal, BBA is a plastic material for manufactured toys, azo for textile and leathers, PAH and plastic materials, hygiene and TRE in accessible non-accessible liquids, flame retardant applicable for textile materials. These are the standards for safety toys regulated. And Cotecna CPS, we have complete capable for all the test parameters. Remarkable points, adoption by endorsement for the latest version national international standard and previous adopted editions remain effective for 2 years starting from data publishing of updated standard. It's mean that 2024 any updated standard came. The 2000 last version is the 2022. We can use until 2026. After the 2026, we can go for only 2024 version. According to GSO guidelines, where are no related Gulf standards, that most Indian harmonized standards can be applied. Where manufacturer determined to apply ASTM F963 or ISO 8124 Part 3, the compliance assessment due to their coverage heavy metal requirements are less EN 71 Part 3, manufacturers shall either attest the product or variation area or go for the GCTS examination by notified bodies. It's mean EN 71 Part 3 heavy metals total 19 elements. ASTM F963 and 8124 Part 3 is only 8 elements. This kind of cases, notified bodies need to ensure the compliance of product or not. Test report requirement. ISO IEC 17025 accredited laboratory test reports are acceptable. Laboratories shall be accredited JAC or accredited bodies with ILAC status. The test report shall be within 3 years with all updated standard version or at least the version before latest one. All test report have unique test report number. Test report shall have form conclusion that the entire requirement, the standard tested are fulfilled. It means that pass, fail or any remarkable. Test report shall have the signatory by the authorized personnel of the laboratory. Test report shall explicitly reference manufacturer, the manufacturer location, factory, brand, model of the product to be certified for GMARC. The test report shall include sufficient photos of documentation, tested product permit the notified body to identify, apply the product in particular case of family model or product series. The testing period, it means the test duration time, whether the samples were tested one time or several times. There shall be no sign of correction in the test report. It means that there is no correction in the font size. Font type should be consistent throughout the test report. Product identity declaration. Product identity declaration means the test report does not directly correspond to the product model applied for the certification. A product identity declaration or declaration of identity shall be provided showing the correlation, similarities and difference between the product applied for the certification. The tested product include the reference, all the reports that show the relevant test standards. The PID or DOI shall be signed by authorized person behalf of the manufacturer is authorized representative. It means technical person or top management representative person. The notified body shall include PID, DOI, the certification documentation while submitting to the GCTS platform. Generally, PID is acceptable if there is no technical difference such as the design, construction, part of material used, assembly method, intended use, risk and hazards, manufacturing location, country. If any difference in the product, they need to provide us evidence to notify body. Non-technical variants, example branding, model number, external designs are permissible contingent upon the notified body documented evaluation of non-impact on product conformity. If any remaining difference identified by the manufacturer or notified body, then manufacturer side need to provide the test reports from qualified testing laboratory, because the test report is the one of the certification document as per the GSO technical regulation. Labeling and warning requirement. Age labeling or minimum maximum user weight where appropriate. Manufacturer name and address, importer name and address, product identity code, item number. When a toy required adult supervisions, a warning required. Country of origin, GCTS mark, no graphic or wording that is offensive to Islam or moral. Warning requirements. As per GSO, each toys category there is in the individual warning is there. Example, not for under 36 month, not suitable for under 36 month, or not suitable for under 3 years, or symbol. It is fine for that. This warnings should be at least in Arabic language. Activity toys only for domestic use. Functional toy to be used under the direct supervision and adult. Skate, roller skate, online skate, skateboards, scooter and toy bicycles from the children. Protective equipment should be worn, not to be used in the traffic. Aquatic toy, warning only to be used in the water in which is child within the depth and under the adult supervision. Toys in food, toys inside, adult supervision recommended. Imitation of protective mask and helmet. This toy does not provide the protection. Toys intended to be strung across the cradle, cot or perambulator by means strings, cords, elastic or straps to prevent possible injury, enlargement, Remove this toy when the child starts trying to get their on hands and knees in crawling the position. Packaging for fragrance in olfactory boards games, cosmetic kits, and guscative games contain the fragrance that may cause allergies. Chemical toys not suitable for children under its record manufacturer declared their age group like 3 years, 4 years for use under adult supervision. GSO conformity tracking symbol. The GCTS symbol generated by GSO representing the conformity marking. It shall be affixed all the product in accordance with the conformity assessment procedure by notified bodies. Notified bodies are also responsible to register all the product subject to conformity assessment procedure to the GSO certificate tracking system. The general procedure for applying GCTS are below. Manufacturer, importer can apply to an NB for the toy subjected to conformity assessment involving NB. NB can conduct the assessment and register. GSO generate the GCTS affixed on e-certificate. GCTS shall be displayed in appropriate form, size, proportions, and colors. GCTS shall be easily visible, readable, and permanent and readable by the scanner of smartphone. GCTS shall affix the product following by the way. Where it is not possible, GCTS shall be applied to outer packaging and manual. GCTS shall be in black and white or following the colors, total 8 colors including black and white. Where it is not possible, for the example product too small, then apply following the mark on the product. GMARK certificate model. As per GSO portal, this is e-certificate model. It is required mentioned required details, certification body detail, manufacturer detail, product detail, brand details, and factory details and technical details, targeted countries, standards applied, and additional evaluation standards applied, documents for evaluation for reports from NB side and safety reports. Pictures, actual pictures, record, packaging picture, and label pictures. My side done, Mr. Ravani, please take over it.
Thank you, Mr. Gautam. Thank you, Mr. Jain, for the insightful details on regulations, requirements, and the process that is involved in the GMARK testing of the toys and the application procedure. Now we shall move on to the Q&A. We have received few questions through the registration process. The first question is for Mr. Gaurav. Is QR code mandatory to fix or to be pasted on the product, or only need to be pasted on the packaging?
Oh, so that is a very good question. We were expecting actually this. So the QR code is mandatory to fix or paste either on the product or on the packaging. We have came across a few of the cases where the product or the toy is very small. So in that case, there is an option to put it on the packaging, but on the packaging, it should not be removable. So that is very important thing, which the manufacturer or the body who is doing this has to take care of. In the recent past, we have guided a lot of our suppliers on how to do this. So apart from being a notified body or a testing lab, we also give some technical solutions to our clients so that they doesn't have problem in clearing their goods at the customs. So yes, QR code is very much mandatory to fix or paste.
Okay, thank you. The next question is for Mr. Gautam. Is baby stroller regulated under GMARK?
Thank you for the questions, Mr. Avni. Baby stroller is a real baby stroller, not regulated under GMARK. It's imitation baby stroller. It's like a real imitation baby stroller. It's under the GMARK regulated.
Okay, so the next question is EN71 testing still required?
Actually, as per GSO guidelines, it is there, EN71 part 9. But as per GSO RNA standard, it's not there in EN71 part 9. We can, as per the NB suggest, we can use for additional evaluations report like plasticizer, monomers, and other preservative test, we can use EN71 part 9.
All right. Okay. The next question is, which standard needs to be followed for microbial test USP 6162 or NB TOES 2021-53?
USB 61 and 62 and NB TOES 2021-053. It's both test parameters are same. Similarly, requirements only different. NB side we would suggest follow as per NB TOES 2021-053 because this standard harmonized as per GSO.
All right. The next question is for Mr. Gaurav Jain. Can we get GMARC GCTS certificate for 1 or 2 years?
Okay, so this was the case earlier, I would say, but in the recent updation from the GSO body, the certification years are from year 3, year 4, and year 5. In the sense, a client can get the certification only for 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. Earlier, the concept of 1 year and 2 years was also there, but they have analyzed and GSO bodies have terminated this two figures, I would say, like 1 year and 2 years. So yes, certification is not available for 2 years. After that, till from 3 years till 5 years, one can apply for the certification.
Okay, thank you. So we have received another question through the chat box from Sam Stoyes. Does GSO mark need to be printed on packaging or we can put a sticker on the existing packaging?
First question is your answer.
Sorry, come again, please.
Does GSO mark need to be printed on the packaging or we need to put a sticker on the existing packaging?
Both the options are available. If you are printing, that is the best option. But if you are pasting the logo on the already printed matter, then it should not be removed. Because if it is removed, then the certification details are gone from that product.
All right, I hope that answers your question, Sam Toys. If there are any more questions that can be answered, please put it across on the chat box. Okay, it seems there are no more questions to be answered. So if in any case, anybody, all right, we have a question here. Is the unlinked process allowed by GSO?
Unlinked process means that unlinked importer, right? Could you please that person?
Mr. Ahmed,
Yeah,
can you please
explain.
elaborate the question? Yes.
Okay. So currently that GSO is only for e-certificate implemented linked importer only. So unlinked it's not it's under processing.
Okay, Mr. Ahmed, is there any follow-up question? All right, great. So if in any case, if anybody has any more queries or questions or need any more information on any of the sections that we have covered today, you can reach out to us at the given address and the mail IDs. Okay, we have got another question from Mr. Sheikh. Which are mandatory markings that need to be in Arabic?
Mainly for warnings, instructions. These are the things is mainly need Arabic language.
Artwork.
No, that it's mean the packaging area instructions. Is there any manual available? Manual also need Arabic, and warning instructions also need Arabic language.
All right. Okay. So I believe we should wait for a couple of more minutes to see if there are any more questions coming up before we wrap up. Is EU TRA required for slime toys?
Yes, required.
Please feel free to ask any questions that you have in mind. You can also reach out to us on the mail IDs and the contact number that has been shared on the screen. We'll be happy to help you to support you on the testing and the certification process. Also, we'll be sending you a thank you mail with the recording of the webinar and the subscription link for the upcoming events and the newsletters. Thank you all for joining the webinar. It was wonderful to interact with you all. Thank you, Mr. Gaurav. Thank you, Mr. Gautam, for the interactive session.
Thank you, audience, for joining. Thank you, Avni.
Thank you, Avni. Thank you for all listeners.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.